So the basic problem of working in an office is that you're not in control of your work environment. But the company Automatic, which is behind WordPress.com, Jetpack, and WooCommerce, they have almost 800 companies, and they live everywhere, from California to Alabama, Mississippi, Texas, and they're also in 67 countries, from Canada, Mexico, India to New Zealand. And some of them choose to not even have a home base. They're like nomads. They travel everywhere, and they're in new places every week, month, or day. So as long as they have good Wi-Fi, they don't care where they are actually. So their focus is on distributed work, and it didn't actually happen accidentally. It was a conscious choice from the very beginning. And you have to notice that they don't use the word remote, because it sets up the expectation that some people are essential and some aren't. So they use the word distributed to describe what they do, where everyone is on an equal playing field. And I think that a distributed workforce is the most effective way to build a company. So the key to that approach is you have to take it consciously. So when the company started WordPress, many of the first 20 hires were people they hadn't met in person, but they had collaborated online and sometimes even for years. And they wanted to continue that same principle for one simple reason. They believed that talents and and intelligence are equally distributed all over the world, but opportunity is not. So, for example, if you take Silicon Valley, the big tech companies fish from essentially the same pond or bay, but a distributed company can fish from the entire ocean. And instead of hiring someone who grew up in Japan but lives in California, and so you can gain someone who lives, works, wakes up, and goes to sleep in the same part of the world. And they bring a different understanding of that culture and different experience to it. And that kind of adds diversity to the whole company. At the base of the decision to go distributed, that's a desire to give people autonomy of how they want to work. Unless you're in a role where specific hours are extremely important, you can make your own schedule. Everyone can have a corner office, their windows, the food they want to eat. You can choose the music. You can choose silence. You can choose what temperature you want. You can you can save the time you would spend computing and put it into things that are important to you. A, a distributed workforce is ideal for a technology company, but people ask sometimes, this works great for y'all, but what about everyone else? But so if you have an office, you can do a few things to build distributed capability. First, document everything. In an office, it's easy to make decisions in the moment, in the kitchen, in the hall. But if people work remotely and some members of the team are having those conversations they don't have access to, they will see these decisions being made without understanding the why. So always leave a trail of where you were and where you left off, and it allows people to interact with it even if they are in different time zones. It's also great to think about as an organization evolves, people leaving and people joining. So try to have as much communication as possible online, and when everything is shared and almost everything is public, it allows people to catch up so quickly. And you also need to find the right tools for that. Also, there are so many apps and services that help with day-to-day communication, video conferencing, and project management. The things that changed how you work probably aren't objects. anymore. They are things you access through your computer. So experiment with different tools that enable collaboration and see what works. The next aspect is to create productive face-to-face time. In a traditional office, you're in the same place 48 hours, 48 weeks out of the whole year, and you might have 4 to 3 weeks apart. So what Automatic did was they flipped that. Uh, Once a year, they have a grand meet where an entire company comes for a week, and it's like half work, half play, and the primary goal is connecting people. They want to make sure that everyone is aligned on the same page and they have a deeper connection with their colleagues. So when they work together in the future, they can bring together that understanding and empathy. And the final practice is to give people the flexibility to make their own work environment. Every person at Automatic has a co-working stipend that they get that they can put toward a co-working space or just to buy a coffee so that they don't get kicked out of the coffee shop. One group in Seattle decided to pool their stipends together and rented a workspace on a fishing pier. Each person who joins the company gets a home office stipend, and this is the money that they can invest in getting the right chair, monitor, right dish setup, and so they can have the most productive environment for them. So today there are just a few companies that are distributed first, but I think in a decade or two, I 90% of the companies that are going to be changing the course of the world are going to function this way. They will evolve to be distributed first. They will be they will be replaced by those that are. And as you think about what you're going to build next, consider how you can tap into the rich global talent by giving people the autonomy to live and work where they feel they should and can participate fully, whatever it is they're working they are.